all doing extremely well this Wednesday, the 7th of January. I think this month is already going quick. Not the best start with Amorim getting sacked. Names flying around as we spoke about last night. Absolutely fantastic show last night, and we are back again this morning. There is some news to bring you, and again, I will give you what I've been told. Links up with what Fabrizio Romano has come out with today as well. So yeah, so we will get into it without further ado. So I'm JB. This is the United Devil channel, and look, get into this amazing community. This is the best community on this platform. I will always say it. This community is the best, and it is because of you guys. Get into this chat. Scott says, yes, JB won't be here long. Got stuff to do. So, Scott, mate, absolutely zero issue. Thank you for the support, and Scott is a legend of the channel as always. So look, get into the channel. Be respectful to the community. Be respectful to yourself. Be respectful to me. Otherwise, the banhammer comes out. It's either Scott that comes in with the banhammer, or me, or other people. And second of all, look, I'm not a dictator of this chat. I'm basically a fan. I'm the same as you guys, and look, I really do read out all your comments and your chat. So if you are thinking about putting anything in there that's not nice, I will read out your chats, and that's the respect that I give you guys. Last night's show was a fantastic show. I love those shows. They really do. Nearly 30k, yeah, nearly Scott. Nearly, we are pushing the 30k, which would be absolutely huge for the channel as well, which is crazy, which is absolutely mad. It is, and look, and it is all thanks to you guys as well. So where do we start off? Look, it's coming out this morning, and we spoke about this last night. The manager situation. Now, I'll tell you what I've been told. 70k by the end of the year. I really hope so, mate. That would be amazing. And the more subs I get, the more financially viable the channel gets. Look, it just means that I can do some fantastic stuff. It just means that I can do some amazing stuff. And look, let's see. So, where are we today? Now, Fabrizio Romano has been talking, and I'll bring you all that stuff as well. I'll also give you, in fact, I'll give you first what I've been told. So, on the previous shows, after the Leeds game, I brought to you on this channel, I think pretty much before anyone else, that Amorim was getting sacked, and Fletcher's going to take over the next 2 games. So, you know, that my little text I had after that. So, this morning I tried to get on this morning, but obviously Fabrizio, the goat, is Amorim back in Portugal? Is he still in Manchester? I think he is in Manchester still. He's got to sort out his house, but I think he's going to go to Portugal next couple of days. Tom's 772 says, hi, I have a question. Don't be sorry if you've got a question. Ask your question away. And look, so I've had another little. Why is the beach wet? Go on. Tell me why the beach is wet. Doesn't mean I've got to read it out if it's you know, too rude, because because the seaweed. I love it. Look, we love banter in here. We love jokes. Get into all that good stuff. So I had a text last night. Another one this morning. Basically, United are going to give it to Ole. We'll see. We will see how good my source is. But I've been told that basically Ole has been interviewed for the job. Carrick is looking there, talking to him as well. So So the premise of this is basically to, until the end of the season, is to give Ole, look, they see Ole as a guy who's been here before. Danny, hello. I hope you're doing it extremely well. So they are looking at giving it to Ole. Now I've been told this, that look, there is no money. There is no money. And as we spoke about this last night, it wasn't a coincidence that I spoke about this. There is no money. They are looking to push this to the summer, when basically the budget resets. The budget will reset, and that is when they can start to do business, and that includes the manager business. Now, don't be spun around that they are going to take their time. That is not what they're doing. They are looking at this as a financial route as well. They're looking to see who's available, looking to see the clauses, and basically who can come in and give you the best bang for your buck. So right now, it's going to be Ole. And I'll give you what Fabrizio has said, but I've been led to believe and told that, look, Ole Gunnar Solskjær is the favourite. They've seen him as he's finished second, and to the point where basically Ole has left it to the club to basically negotiate the contract. Ole will do this for free. This is something that Ole Gunnar Solskjær will do for free. So he's not really bothered about the money. Ole is in love with the club. How much did they have to pay Amrin for the second? So I think it's about 5 million. But again, it really depends on the NDA as well. So I think in the end, I think it's going to come to about, it might even be as high as 10 million. I think it is going to be around that 8 to 10. It's again, this is something that Ineos are incompetent to do. So I'll give you my opinion on the Solskjaer stuff. Feel free to give me your opinion as well on it. I'd love to know what you think about Ole. So one of the reasons I heard 15 altogether, and exactly, Danny, it probably is that amount of money. 10 for him, 8 for him, and then by the time they sack the staff, they've all got 18-month contracts left. It is ridiculous, absolutely crazy. The price down payment of a midfielder, Danny, and this is why, Danny, this is why I kept saying, right, is that even though there is money there to spend, they're always going to leave themselves some headroom, right? Until they because whether we like it or not, Amrin wasn't doing particularly well. So and just in case, and look, they're run as a business, so their contingency plan is they have to keep money back. So in case they have to sack the manager, and guess what they did? They sacked the manager. So hence that's why they've not spent money, as you say, Danny. This is a case of it is a price of a player, and whether we like it or not, that is the situation that we're in. So Ole is going to be reinstated as a temporary coach. Now they are interviewing Carrick today. Carrick is going to be in the house. Got to go. JB will be not a problem, Scotty, and I hope you're doing and I hope you're going to have a fantastic day, my friend. So Ole Gunnar Solskjær is going to be basically is going to be the interim coach. Now the reason why, obviously, they like Ole, because Ole will basically work for free. He's finished second. Bobby says, hello Bobby, hope you are doing extremely well, my friend. So Ole is going to be installed. Scott says pivot out. Ole's perfect. They are looking at keeping the cost down. United are looking at keeping this cost down. They waited till the January to save money, knowing it would be an excuse not to spend money. People above the manager are clearly the problem. Amorim would have fixed the team long term, and it's true. It's true. It is true. You know that I believe it to be true. You bring in a young coach. I know he's young, but you back him, and they just haven't done that. They just haven't done that. We need to back the manager, and look, we do, Bobby. Look, Solskjaer comes in a one. Fletcher last night. I'm gonna support Fletcher. You know, I'm gonna support him until he leaves. We all know what the problem is, and you know this is why Ole is going to come into this club. This is why. Watch out for an announcement in the next couple of days. It won't be after this game. It'll probably be after the Brighton game. As I've been told, this is coming in the next couple of days. This would probably come after the Brighton game. Or we could go into the Brighton game with positivity news. As soon as they've got Ole's backroom staff, because this is about Ole's staff as well. Once they've got that ironed out, this could be before the Brighton game, just to give a positive spin on it, or it could be just after the game. It really does depend. It really does depend on when he gets his coaches and when he can agree the coaches as well. So look, Ole is perfect. Ole is perfect for this situation, because Ole's cheap. Ole's not going to expect players. They're going to get Ole in because Ole's going to work with this group of players. He's not going to want any players. There's going to be 0 players. As I've always said, it will either be 0 or it will be Gallagher on loan. If that can't happen, there's going to be 0 players, because they've got probably the best excuse now, because don't forget, the reason why they've pulled the trigger as well is because it's good. It's cheaper. It's cheaper to sack the manager than to buy a player now. This is perfect. Their timing is perfect. Whilst Amorim, I think, has played a perfect game, this is also perfect for them, because it just means that now they don't have to sign players. You know, fans are going to be understanding, because they've sacked the coach, which basically means they don't have to sign players. They don't have to sign players now, and they've got the perfect reason and the perfect excuse not to sign players. So take it. Well, you don't have to take it as fact, because things happen. And look, we will go on to for what Fabrizio said, but I've been told. Jamie says hi. Jamie, legend. So again, as my source said, and again after the Wolves game, or the Leeds game, was that, look, Ole is going to be installed. Ole is perfect. It's pretty much a here we go. Look, it's going to be a here we go when Fabrizio comes out with it. But this is going to be done quite quickly. He's available. Ole is available, willing to do it. He's willing to look. Ole is willing to come to this club again and just do it. He's basically willing to do it for free. So it's going to be Ole. Ole is going to come in. He's going to work with these players. He's just going to get it through to the end of the season, and it fits Ineos. It fits. Now, my question and my question to you guys and my observation here is, this is supposed to be so Ryan, what's the latest? I will give you what I've been told, and I'll give you what Fabrizio has said. So I got a text, as you know, after the Leeds game. I was told to watch this space. I told you guys to watch this space. Within the next couple of hours, Amorim was going to be sacked. and Fletcher would take over. So the same source has basically told me that yesterday Ole, he interviewed, he contacted them, and Carrick is gone in today to talk about the job. Basically, they are going to give it to Ole. So from what I've been told, they're going to announce this. They're going to announce it either before the Brighton game, and the timing of this for them has to be right because they want as much positivity and spin as they possibly can. So this is going to be announced depending on fan base just before the Brighton game or just after. So Ole at the moment, they're just figuring out who the coaches are going to be, figuring out who the backroom staff are going to be, and then it's going to be Ole. So Ole is going to be back at the wheel. Now I will go on to what Fabrizio has said on this as well. So let me get through some of your chats before I get on to what Fabrizio has said. Yeah, they'll wait until January to save money. No one will be excuse not to spend on players. The people, we need to back the manager. The players Amrin got rid of and brought in were very good decisions. Stupid that they sacked him. He just needed time like an Arteta. We don't give people time. Jamie says, hello Jamie. Kevin JB says, Ole would not make the tough decisions like Amrin. He'll keep the crap players and give them more time they deserve. Under United need a manager who has got a ruthless side. And the scary thing here will be, will Ole or will the club give new contracts for players? That's one thing I wanted to go over as well, is will we give new contracts for players? Because don't forget, it's all about cheap. It's all about what can this club do on the cheap. I'll go back forward. Just hope we don't start getting divided over something else again. We have to be calm as a club and a fan base. And Sully, look, I think you're right, Sully. I think we should know where we are. I think the problem is, Sully, I think this is my opinion, right? This is all about how can this club get over the line as cheaply as they possibly can. There's a reason why Ole is back at the wheel. It's a positivity story. Look, Ineos, the Glazers, are all about spinning us. And we need to come together to understand the situation that we're in is the Glazers and Ineos have now put this in this. They're going to spin this around until the end of the season because the Glazers and Ineos do not want to spend money. They cannot spend the money. I've been saying this all season. They have no money. When it suits them to quell the fan base, they will tell you they've got money. They don't have money. They don't have money. So they're not going to spend because they can't spend. So Ole is perfect. And I do agree with you. Fans need to come together to realise what this is. Talking about players, talking about these coaches, Tuchel, all these sorts of players are going to want money. They're going to want players. Our head is again. It's almost like playing Xbox. That is what the Glazers want you to believe. They want you to believe we're going to spend money. They want to get us over the line. And at what point do we go, enough is enough? The protests have to come back, by the way. Protests have to come back. Because unless we start to do that, it just means that we don't believe. We don't believe that we can get these arseholes out, and we absolutely can. Ryan says, what's the latest? Yeah, I've just said that. Ole until the summer, and then Tuchel, I reckon. Morning all says, Ryan, United aren't getting European football. And do you know what? To that end as well, right? How stupid is this club? Because whether I like it or not, I've been saying all season that I think we'll finish between 8th and 10th. Now, look, just because something doesn't suit my opinion doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about it and give props to you guys on here, right? Many of you have been saying that we can finish top 4, 5 and 6, right? whether I like it or not, despite what I think, we are, from a mathematical perspective, in a race for top four, right? We're at the halfway point of the season. Are Ineos either incompetent? Is Sir Jim so deluded? Is this expertise football side so stupid that they are going to write off the season? Is this a case of they're going to write off the season or trying to do things on the cheap? Either way, it is staggeringly incompetent. This club, and look, I don't prescribe, I don't believe that fourth place is on. I've never believed it. However, it doesn't matter what I believe, doesn't matter what I think, whether I like it or not, this club, through sheer luck, through sheer competition of this season, we are still there mathematically, and we're halfway through this season. Are they going to write this season off again? We're in a position for the first time that if we bought players, if we bought the right coach in at the right time, there could be a push for fourth. Is the incompetence so high that they believe, and this will be absolutely staggering, if they believe that Ole is the coach that can come into this squad of players and finish fourth? It will be testament to Ole and Amarin if Ole can get this team to fourth. Are they writing off the season? You know, we're talking about football experts. Will Cox has no idea what the fuck he's doing. Omar Barada has zero clue. They are writing off a season when we're halfway through the season and mathematically still up there to get top four. It is a ridiculousness. It is an absolutely ridiculous situation that they are prepared to write off the season. But we can only hope. Ole in, yes, here we go. Champions League is a dead cert now. Niche fan, mate. I disagree. Look, I hope that we can have the bounce. This team is I would describe it as an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer team. It's perfect for him. It's perfect. Surely Amarin should have been given until the end of the season. Sixth is good considering, and it is true. Terry Harwood says, hello everyone, the owners need to go and the cycle begins. Yes, it does. I want Ineos to just get legends across the board, get everyone doing everything for free, increase the Glazers' dividends. The Glazers out now, says Bobby. Ole will have a walking stick by the summer. Considering Ole, it was way worse than top four. A lot of people are disrespecting Ole because of his third season. Sully, so my opinions are always based on what I think is true to me, right? I don't want Ole, not because of the third season, because we were told that we were going to get the best in class. We were told that this is a different club. We were told now that this club is a different club, best in class, right? This best in class club, instead of moving, instead of taking 4 steps forward, we're now taking 3 steps back. This has been so abysmal that we're going to go back to Ole, which for me is a failure. This is not about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is about what was promised to the fans. And all we're talking about now, again, is we're talking about Ole. We're talking about the managers that we will potentially get. What are we not talking about? We're not talking about protests. We're not talking about the Glazers. Nobody's talking about the Glazers. This is what they do. This is why this fan base will never progress until we put tools down and say, we are sick and tired. You promised us best in class. It's such a failure that we're now having to go back to Ole. Ole, who's prepared to work on a free, by the way, but obviously they're going to have to pay him. He's prepared to work on a free. There are no players coming in. This team has been shit all season. And we're going to write off fourth place when it's still mathematically possible. What is this club? Niche fan says, I want Carrick working for free. I want Rooney as the striking coach. Scholesy will work for free. Niche fan, please tell me, Niche fan, that you are kidding. Where are you from? I'm from England. I'm from Essex. Terry says hi. Niche fan, what team do you support? No, niche fan this morning. That can't be real, mate. Liverpool are the most successful club in England. You're second. You could argue that. Doesn't matter to me. Terry, we're still the biggest club. Michael says, not sure how comfortable I am with two City men, Wilcox and Barada, running the club. It's like inviting your girlfriend's ex fella come round for dinner. Doesn't suit. Michael, you started me off. Friends, Man City friends, football for friends, friends, Wilcox friends. This is jobs for the boys. This is United job for the boys. Carrigy, Ole, Wilcox, Omar Barada. Like, where does this end? And look, this is whoever comes in as an interim coach, I will support them because they are being dropped into a mess that isn't their fault. It doesn't matter where they finish this season. This is not down to them. But this is jobs for the boys. They're bringing back Ole because he's cheap and because he'll work with this shit. Ole as the manager. And look, right, how much of a banter team do we want to continue to be? We get bantered, right? Ole at the wheel, right? We're going to be absolutely bantered again. Many of you guys, and I'm not saying you guys on here, but many people were Ole out. Go back. How little, how short the memories are. This fan base wanted him out. And now the same people are wanting him in. I've got no issue with that. But when does this club, we are fucked. We're absolutely screwed. I want this entire club done on the cheap. I want people's wages docked, cut below minimum wage. I want dinner lady. Niche fan, mate, come on now. Niche fan, mate, I respect you. I respect your opinions. But Niche fan, you're getting very, very close today, mate. You're getting very, very close because I think I don't know what side of the bed, Niche fan, you've got up this morning on, but I really hope you're trolling because, and if you are Niche fan, you're getting very, 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 very close to the mark this morning, mate, because come on now, that's not true. I think the one positive is Shesko be given more freedom under Ole. Niche fan is a troll. Niche fan is getting very, very close. Yes, Niche fan. Thank you, Niche fan. I am. Thank you, Niche fan. Yeah. I don't trust it. Ineos, Niche fan, stop trolling. The club is a mess. Sorry, lads, I couldn't help it. I'm so upset at what's happening. The whole thing is a complete joke. We've got skint and greedy parasites at the club who just want people to work for. Niche fan, thank you for explaining it, my friend, because Niche fan, I thought for a second you went loco. Red Hair says, appointing Ole is just a cover by Ineos for sacking Amrin on the criticism. Appointing Ole is regression. Appointing sacked prime managers like Prime Jose would have been a good choice. Look, I agree with you. This is cover. This is a cover up. This is a cover up by the club. But what we've got to get, and I just wish I could drum this into people. This is my own view. People don't have to listen to what I say. We don't have to agree. But it's there. They are the doctors of spin. How can they? What you've got to get is they don't care about us fans. They don't care about you. They are covering their own arse. This is about Wilcox covering his arse. These cretins are so bad, are so idiotic, are so inept, incompetent at their job. They are covering their arse. They're only interested in covering their arse. They're only interested in spreading blame, right? And how they do that, they are taking advantage of Ole. They're taking advantage of us as a club because what they're doing is they're giving you what you want. They've heard the fan base. They get a consensus, and the consensus is they're bringing Ole back to shut you down. They're bringing Ole back to bring in the feel-good factor, and this fan base is lapping it up. This fan base is just eating. It's been spoon-fed the shit, and we are eating it. This is about nostalgia. This is about Sir Jim fucking Radcliffe. I'm sorry, what a fucking snake. This club, Ineos, the Glazers, the Wilcox, they are trying to spin this, and that's the most frustrating thing. This is not a personal vendetta against Ole. This is a observation. This is what we've seen before, and instead of going out and saying we want to finish in the Champions League spaces, this is what Chelsea would do. Chelsea have got their coach already, the first team coach, not an interim coach, not some shitty ex-coach, not a Hullet. They might as well go back and get Hullet, right? City would do the same. Arsenal would do the same. They would go and get their guy, stick with the coach, or go and get a first choice. What do? We're going back to get Ole because he's cheap. We're going back to get Ole because he's basically free. Carrick is out of work. These people are out of work. These people are out of work, and everyone is going to be Ole's at the wheel. Let's give each other a fucking high five. This is about cheap. This is about hope. This is about giving. This is about keeping you quiet. Ineos and the Glazers, Wilcox and co, are patting you on the head saying, shh, shh. They've got you quiet. You guys are crying. We're crying. This fan base is crying. And Ineos are going, right, what the fuck can we do? And they're going, shh, shh. And people are lapping it up. Ole's at the wheel. Ole, yeah, he's back. He's going to make us all feel good. Yeah, he's going to be fantastic. We're going to see counter-attacking FC. We might get a bounce. But what about the long term? What about the project that we were sold? Sir Jim, at the end of the day, Ruben needs at least 3 years. And I don't listen to the media. Oh, the fucking media. Oh, no. It is just unbelievable. I'm going to go through the chats. Glinios out. Spot on. This is why. This is why they bring me in, so it stops everyone talking about Ineos. This fan base is a joke. Says Alex Ferguson. Neil Boss says hi mate. Hello. Football friends, football friends. The whole thing is insane. They're going to spin it like Ole has never even been the manager. Top 4 clubs, they're all top 4 clubs back the managers long term. Why can't United higher ups apply the strategy? Stubborn. This is why we are bringing Ole in. It stops everyone talking about Ineos. The fan bias is a joke. Wilcox bringing in an ex-City reject, and yes, and this is why we fail, people. This is why we fail. I get it. I get fans are passionate. I get, look, most fans only care about the football, right? They care about the manager. They care about football. They care about games. when you look behind the curtain, Neil Boss is Ole coming back as a been confirmed. Look, I'll give you the two things. This look, so Fabrizio Romano is basically no. I'm gonna start with Neil what I've been told, and I'll give you the context. Right. So after the Leeds game, and I did the reaction show, I came on here and I told you guys that I got sent a text from somebody that I know who's close to the club. I came on here and I told you that watch out for the next couple of hours because Amron is going to be sacked and Fletcher will take over. No one else was going with that. You guys on here predicted it. I didn't because I'm not as smart as you guys on here. I was told it. That's the only reason why I came up and I said it on here was because it's something that I was told. You guys came up with it, right? The same person sent me a text today basically saying that Ole Gunnar Solskjær is going to be put in charge. They are waiting for the right time to bring this out. They are also waiting on who's going to be the backroom staff, how much money they've got to pay, how can they do this on the cheap, on whether Carrick or not is going to come in to support him. It could be a role that they do together, but it's how and when they bring it out. Now, depending on the anger of the fan base, they may do it before the Brighton game, depending on how much noise there is from the fan base. If not after the Brighton game. So watch this space. It may come tomorrow. It may come before the Brighton game. If not, this is all about the timing. This is all about when can they get massive traction and massive spin to basically deflect what is happening away from the club. Then this morning, Fabrizio Romano, who people say is the GOAT, and he is. He gets fed things from the club. Basically, Ole has gone into the club. He's offered them the services. He's letting United dictate the contract. Ole is willing to come into this club for free, and he's letting United negotiate the contract. Look, he's going to get paid, right? But he's coming to and it's perfect. It's perfect. Ole coming back to this club, and look, is it an official? Here we go. Not yet, but I'm saying to you guys, from what I've been told from the text that I got this morning, Carrick is coming in today. It's about what structure are they going to have under Ole. Ole will come back, and this is perfect for them. United is being eaten by Wall Street. They make money killing the club, then keeping it alive. Ineos are running us like a business, the same as they have at Nice. And look how Nice is. It's true. That's why I didn't ban Niche Fan, because he's usually a top guy. Yeah, look, Niche Fan is. That's why Niche Fan this morning. Big up to Niche Fan this morning, because he basically convinced me that he was having a breakdown. I think they should let the fans decide whether or not to keep the manager at the end of the season. This works better than the bench. And look, whilst I do agree with that, to a degree, Kevin, it just goes to show the incompetence of the owners that we believe, and I do agree with you, that right now the fans are in the best position. Would you have Simeone? Rob James, I would take him, but he's going to need players. Again, he's going to need players, and that's the problem for me right now. Is basically any manager that we get, any top class coach is going to be an outspoken coach, and they're going to want their players. Mark says, have you seen the video doing the rounds of Gary Neville saying United should play a back three during it? should be playing the back three during the Erik ten Hag reign. Hope it finds its way to him. I'll find that actually, and I will put it up as a clip. I will put that up. Neville saying Erik ten Hag play back three. These pundits, I get Ole, then Ten Hag, then Amrin again. As an Arsenal fan, I'm currently glad you sacked Amrin because I think he would have turned you around in a few years. Rob James says Nistelrooy wasn't too bad before he left. And again, this is why the Glazers and Ineos are good at what they do. We're talking about Ruud van Nistelrooy. Is Ruud van Nistelrooy, and I know Rob, you're probably talking about him as an interim coach, right? Is Nistelrooy best in class? No. And my overarching point to this is, and I'm going against what I think. What I think is we finish between 8th and 10th. Now I'm going against what I believe and think to go with what you guys are saying, right? Is we've got a chance of finishing 4th this season. We are writing the season off. We are halfway through a season, and we are potentially. So does this mean for all Ineos Sir Jim's bullshit and about how Sir Jim believes that this club can finish in the Champions League spaces, that they're willing to write the season off? So it just goes to show that they don't believe their own bullshit. Dennis says, I agree with everything I agree with everything you say, my friend. I feel like we will never turn it around until the ownership is changed. That's the real problem at the top. Then it filters downwards. It does. Mark Harris, legend, he says you never go back to your ex. United have picked up the worst managers in the past. Mid-table team under Ineos continues. If they want to go down the road of bringing back, I think my pick, he was the right guy, but they thought different. Not a clue. This mob. Agreed completely. So Fabrizio Romano has basically come out today. So for those of you who listen to him, he's basically come out today and said Solskjaer has spoken to the club. He's put out his own thing whereby he's willing to come back to the club for free. He's prepared to let United negotiate his contract. He's willing to let them negotiate the contract. He would basically work for free, which goes in line with a text that I basically got sent. Ole is going to come back. They're basically waiting for the timing to announce it, and they're figuring out who his staff are going to be. It might be Fletcher, who goes to the backroom staff as well, Carrick as well. So we need to watch this space. Kevin says, honestly, Ole's experience might just get you Europe this season, but he's not the right long-term manager. So giving him another season would be a mistake. I don't trust these players. And look, this morning, one of the things that, and again, it's nothing to do with you guys on here, is the players. Where is the blame for the players? Where is the blame for these players? As much as I think the players are not wholly responsible, these players have sacked another manager. And when I say that, I'm talking about the simple things that these players can't do. I'm talking about the mentality, the drive that you got to have, that to be the best of the best drive that you need to have to play for this club. These players have sacked another manager. You've got a situation where Luke Shaw, and again, I'm calling him out again because he is the epitome of player power. He's the epitome now of incompetence. How many managers has this guy been through? Van Gaal, Jose, Ole, Carrick, Ranić, Ten Hag, and Ruben Amorim. He's been through 7 coaches and not a dicky bird. Not a dicky bird. Nobody said anything about these players. Shaw needs to be sacked. And agree with you. Agree with you. How as a player can you go through multiple coaches? Luke Shaw is one of these players who's been out injured. Luke Shaw, at the very start of this season, by the way, if you listen, and this, again, this is the incompetence and the embarrassment. Luke Shaw said that he feels that we could win the league. I keep saying on here that I demand us to win the league every season. I demand us to be in the Champions League, not because I'm an idiot, not because I think it's possible, because I believe the standards need to be high. Right? I don't believe it. Luke Shaw is in this squad. Does he walk around with his eyes shut and believe that we can honestly win the league? It's just incompetence. It's incompetence. This team is unfit. This team is not fit for purpose. Yet you've got players who are coming out and spouting the rhetoric of this club. It is embarrassing. Mohawk says, sure, yeah, he does. Pavel, Ollie Ball, park bus, counter-attack against big teams, which I don't like. And this is what we're going to get. Just for the laugh says is Ollie, look, from what I've been told, and I can give you the both sources, from what I've been told, the text that I got, Ollie is going to be installed as the interim coach. Ollie is not going to be the first team coach. Is not going to be the long-term coach. Ollie is going to be interim coach. Romano has basically confirmed what I got told last night, that they've already had talks with him. Basically, Ollie has ran to the club and said, I will do this job for free. United are basically been convinced. Ollie ticks so many boxes, right? He's finished second. He's beaten. Look, Ollie has been here before. Ollie is a yes man. Ollie will work with his group of players. They want to bring in a coach, an interim coach who doesn't want players. Cheap, doesn't want to bring in players, have worked with his players before, and Premier League experience. Ollie is the man. So look, from what I've been told, Ollie is going to come in. They're going to look to announce this at the perfect time. So when that perfect time is it's going to be either after the Burnley game, if the fan base kicks up, if we lose to Burnley, if we lose to Burnley, watch this space, because I think they will announce it after that game. And again, this isn't my own guess. This is text wise. If we lose to Burnley, United will need to do something. And the something that they will do is that they will announce Ollie. If we beat Burnley, I think they'll wait until after the Brighton game, and then they will announce it then. So look, Fletcher is going to be in charge of the next 2 games. Now, Fabrizio Romano has basically come out and said the 2 things today, that they are interviewing Carrick today. The proposal is basically Ollie, Carrick, Fletcher to do that role together. Ollie being the head coach for now, and it's whether or not Carrick is prepared, because Carrick has been a first team coach. I think Carrick wants the job. I think Carrick wants to be the head coach. It could be a combination. What I know is Ollie is the one they like. It's whether or not Carrick can convince them that he should be the head coach. Ollie is going to be involved, but right now, from what I've been told, If Carrick interviews really well today, Carrick is going to go. If they are more impressed with him, maybe he swings it. But right now, it's going to be Ole. Fabrizio has Fabrizio has confirmed that Ole has already had spoken. They're going to interview Carrick today. Ole has basically let the club negotiate his contract. That is where he is, and look, he's so eager to get the job again that he is prepared to let United negotiate his contract. Let's have a little look at what we're saying. Up the Tigers, says Phil Clark. Just for the laugh, isn't that not just a backward step, but a hop, skip and a jump backwards? Look, it is. It is. You know, we need an interim coach. You know, at this point, it doesn't really matter who the interim is, but it is a backward step. You got rid of Ole once because he wasn't good enough before. You can't make this up, honestly. You can't. Just joined. Ole is coming back. Carrick massively underperformed. Ole is a yes man. Nikarutsu, legend of the chat. What was Ole's style of football? I can't remember. It was counter-attack FC. It was counter-attack. He's basically park the bus, be difficult to break down, and break on the counter. But people forget that this squad is worse than his squad. Ole at the wheel for the rest of the season. That's learn to smile again. Get the right man in the summer. Does he play a 4-3-3? I can't remember. Yes, he does. He sometimes plays a 4-2. He plays a 4-3-2-1, or he plays a 4-3-3. But I know he plays. Sometimes he wants to play two up top. And don't forget, Ole at one point had Cristiano, and he had Cavani as well. He had Bruno as well, Rashford. So look, Ole had a counter team. He doesn't have that now. Ole, Carrick or Fletcher won't get United back to where they want to be. Agreed, Rob. Agreed completely. He won't. Fully fit. Who would be your first 11 back from the AFCON? I'll drop Šeško and add Mainu. We have the players for a 4-3-3 options, assuming it will fit 4-3-3. Boy Kobe. Who would be my first 11? Larman's in goal, of course it would be. It's going to be a back four. I would have De Ligt and the Butcher. Left, I'd have Dorgu or Mazraoui. I'd probably go Mazraoui, and then I would probably go Dorgu on the left. Then I'd go because we basically have to. I would play a Casemiro. I would play Casemiro. Probably Ugarte because he has to play, or another midfielder, which we don't have. Mainu would go in there as well. I'd also probably play, or what you could have Casemiro, Ugarte. I can't stand these plays, by the way. But I'm just thinking. You'd have Bruno as the top of the three, and then maybe you go Cunha left. In Burmo right, Šeško up front, but Ahmad for me has to play. So maybe you go Mazraoui on the left, Ahmad on the right, or you could interchange as Ahmad on one of the wings. It depends on what he's going to do. It depends on what he's going to do with the middle of the park. Bruno will go back to 10, and I think Mainu plays. Ryan says Ole, massive favourite, which is nailed on. And Ryan, look, as I led with this morning, I think Ole is going to go. I think Ole will go back to 10. I think Mainu plays. Ryan says Ole, massive favourite, which is nailed on. And Ryan, look, as I led with this morning, I think Ole will go back to 10. I think Mainu plays. the same as the Amorim news, I got a text this morning basically saying that they're going to appoint Ole. They're waiting to announce it. They're waiting the time to announce it. If Burnley beat us tonight, they will announce it. So watch out for that because they're going to need some spin. If not, they will wait until after the Brighton game. We're not going to win any major thing in our lifetime. I really hope we do. This has to be accountability on whoever scouted Xerxes, convinced someone to pay for him. It's a level too high for him. I watched him and I feel bad for the guy. Only negatives is Ahmad missing out, but great option as cover for several attacking positions. Your source seems to be... Look, Ryan, that's the one thing about when you do this. You get contacted by people that... Look, the interesting thing for me as well is when I put it there, it can come back and smash you in the face, right? Because if your source is full of shit, and I put it there, it makes me look like a prat, right? But again, I'm going to give that source props. I'm going to give that source big up because they were spot on. But look, the text I got from what I've been told is going to be Ole. They're going to interview Carrick today. There's a possibility if Carrick comes in and blows them out of the water, maybe you get Carrick as a head coach with Ole supporting. But from what I've been told, it's the preferred team at this point is Ole as the head coach, Fletcher as well, and Carrick to support. It's going to be either announced after the Brighton game, or if we get beaten tonight, it could be after that game to give us some spin. So keep an eye on it tonight. I think tonight is going to be an important game for a lot of reasons. But as far as I'm concerned, it's Ole at the wheel. Romano went on to kind of confirm this as well. And basically saying that Ole has already spoken to the club. He's basically letting them dictate the contract. Ole is going to be cheap. Ole's going to work with his players. The talk of players will be quelled. He'll bring the feel good factor as well. He knows Bruno Fernandes. These players have been consulted on the next coach, by the way. So whether that is going to be interim or whether that is going to be the long term, this club is so inept at the things that they do. They've consulted these players, by the way. They've consulted these players on who they think that they should do. You think about it. Ole knows Maguire. Ole knows Fernandes. And look, Bruno Fernandes is key to this as well. Solskjaer is cheap, work with the players. He knows these players. It's all there. Michael says, guy's source is Ornstein. Mate, it's not. It's not. We win tonight. I really hope we do. It sounds like many Chiefs are not enough Indians. If they go with the three egos, will clash. Bobby says, spend big now and start building a squad, but the Glazers won't. That's true. Hey JB, prediction 3-0 tonight. Xerxes, Bruno and Dorgu. You can't build a squad without a manager. That's a silly comment. No, it's not. Look. Tonight, what do I think tonight? It could be anything tonight. Look, let's look at this from a logical perspective, right? Burner says, Brit, you're so clearly Burner is not happy with me being a Brit. I don't care. I really, really don't care. You'd be getting players in the new with that the new manager potentially doesn't want. It's a waste of money for sure. Tonight, so Blue Against says Carrick will do until June, but we know the fact media will milk it dry if Ollie joins. They're obsessed with him. Look, I'll say it again from what I've been told via text today. Ollie's the guy. The only way, the caveat to that is the only way that Ollie doesn't get the job is if Carrick comes in and blows him away. Right now at the club, Ollie is the favourite. Ollie knows the players. Ollie's more experienced. Ollie is not going to want any players. Ollie can work with the squad. The only way it's not Ollie is if Carrick comes in today. Carrick is being interviewed today. If Carrick blows the ball away, it will be him. If we lose tonight, they will announce something tomorrow. Alpha said, do you think the reason why Amarin is because he said it's not there to be the head coach, it's only the manager, and this is... Yes, look, you don't go against the Glazers. If you go against Sir Jim, all they care is about their opinions. That's all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. It's all about reputation. That is all they care about. Amarin, he wanted out because he knew he wasn't going to get his squad. He wanted out, and that is why he's gone. Is Amarin? People didn't give him enough respect. Amarin was calculated. In what he said, it was abundantly clear to Amarin that he wasn't going to get his players. He wasn't going to, and it was a waste of time. So Amarin engineered his way out, and he was sacked. Sky Sports Amarin podcast comes to an end. If Ollie is back, it's over for Pep. He ain't getting a result against us. I don't know why we sacked him. As much as I disagree about the board, one thing for sure, United should buy players which suits the playing style. If we create one, we can't bring players to suit one manager after sacking him. And look, I do prescribe to that. I do. If we had a competent board and competent owners, we would dictate the style of play as a club, which I think we should do. And then you bring in a manager. You bring in a manager to fit that style of play. Mem says, F you, United from Portugal. Thanks, mate. I just think the whole situation at Old Trafford is a mess and it's embarrassing looking in. I'm not a fan, but it's difficult to watch. It's not a good thing for the Premier League. I hope Johnny Evans is and yes, Johnny Evans has come back as well. I think Johnny Evans will come in as well. No manager will survive under United, guys. Any news about the protests is kind of frustrating. And look, I can give you what I know about the protests. Is basically what we've got to understand about like how this works as well. Is how this works is these organisations like the 1958, unlike the Glazers, they care about what you guys think. David Roberts says fans are irrelevant. Football is run by a corporate shit. Get a life. Thanks, mate. The reasons why it's not going to happen just yet is because unlike the Glazers, these organisations respect what the fans think. They will do things based on what the members think. They will do things based on fans. If there's no call, because they need support as well. They need backing of fans, and because they are respectful to fans. They do a fantastic job. They won't do things without fans. So it's up to fans, it's up to us to be vocal. It's up to us to give them the support. Like the 1958 have a website. Go to the website and basically say, you want the protests. Give them your voice. It's something that we just can't do. We have to come collectively together. And look, whenever you're on this channel, in the comments, put hashtag Glazers out. Go to the United channel, the Glazers out. The United are big on the social media. As much as social media carnage as we can cause, the better. Someone says maximum respect, John. Is it official? Someone, I'll give you it again. Basically, after the Leeds game, I got sent a text. It was true. I got sent another text this morning by the same person to tell me that basically they're going to give it to Ole because of a number of things. Carrick is interviewing for the job today, but it looks like Solskjaer is going to be the one that will come in on the basis he's cheap. He'll let them. He's willing to come to work for free. He is cheap, available. He knows these players. He knows the club. He's not going to cause a stir. He is the perfect guy. So, and also as well, what we need to consider as well is the feel-good factor as well. I'm not against Amrin, but it just shows the words can end everything. Fans don't even register to the owners. If someone doesn't go, they'll lose little through the turnstile. If someone doesn't keep this, exactly. Supporters should stop buying merch and stay away from stadiums. Stop supplying money. If nobody supports the club, it will force the Glazers' hand. Not talking and not taking back our club. Exactly. So when so it's Ole at the wheel. It's only coach to apologise for coming second, and Arsenal are famous for that now. They are. So look, guys, I'm gonna go. Fantastic show. I just wanted to bring you that news. My source seems to be pretty good so far. So what I'm gonna say is watch this space. Watch this space. After the Burnley game, just watch the space. So, and again, keep it up to date. And yeah, I will. So I will be back tonight. There'll be a watch along tonight for the Burnley game, and hopefully sort out your yellow. I might give them a change up there. I might rotate them around. So we'll see. But look, guys, yeah, fantastic show. Thank you for being here, all legends of the chat. I do appreciate the comment. And again, this is an interesting situation. Keep an eye on it today, and we shall see what develops. So look, guys, thank you for being here, absolute legend of this chat. I'm JB. This is the United Devil channel. I will be back tonight for the watch along. So I'll see you then. Have a good rest. Exactly. Ole at the wheel 2.0. So I will be back this evening. Hopefully you can join me for the game. And yeah, have a good rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, wherever in the world you are. And I will see you tonight. Take care.